Hi there, my name is Richard Butler, and as you can see, I'm Irish. And I wanted to talk to you about communication skills. You see, people say that they want to speak another language and they want to speak that language fluently. And I always say to them, that's not what it's about. It's about becoming a better communicator. Now, I see a number of ways that you can become a better communicator. First of all, yes, you need to improve your English. And this can be for native and non native speakers. Because believe it or not, there are many native speakers who aren't good communicators and who don't have a good grasp of the English language. Now, that's not to insult anybody, but it is true. If you watch good communicators, they don't use overly elaborate words. They don't use long, fancy sentences because that's not what communication is about. Communication is about having a message and me transmitting that message to my audience and my audience understanding that message and being able to respond. And this is where a lot of people fall down. Why? Well, I've talked to non native clients who say, well, my aim is I want to do the proficiency exam and be able to have a C1, a C2, a C whatever. And you know what I see? I see what is called titleitis. And it's something that my clients have told me that they see people having, and I see it too. They need to have a title. They need to have a certificate. And all these things are important. But I have met and worked with people who have a proficiency level of English and they do not know how to communicate. Sure, they can tell me all about the grammatical structure of the language. But honestly, if you are in a business meeting, is anybody going to wonder why you're using the past progressive or why you're using the future continuous? No. People are going to listen to you for your message. And if your message is not clear, if your message is confused, if you speak in very academic language and you lose your audience, well, that defeats the whole purpose. So I'm here to help you with your communication skills. And there's three paths to work with me. The first one is that we have business English sessions. And this is where we would work through different topics. We would do some readings, we would do some listenings to improve your overall English. Now, I try as much as possible to stay away from grammar. Why? Because you have been learning grammar since you were so high, as they say, or so high, but you can't see how high that is. But since you've been, I don't know, since you were 5, 6, 7 in school, you started to learn grammar. But think about how you learned your native language. And I think about my niece and my nephew here. Their English is very good. My nephew is fantastic at English. And his English is very good, but he didn't start doing any classes. It was just through speaking and listening and learning about the world. And his English is fantastic. But if I say to him, tell me about the present perfect or the past continuous, he's probably going to say, I mean, yeah, he knows it, but he knows how to use it rather than how to construct it. So the idea here is you don't need to know more academic English. You don't need to know more grammar. You don't need to find a tutor on Preply who is going to help you with your English. And they're probably just going to use a textbook or they're going to use something that is not relevant to you. When you work with me, if we work one on one, I focus my sessions directly on what you need. I mean, I've worked with senior directors, with recruiting directors, with HR managers, with digital agencies, with med tech people. And what I say to them is, you have to be clear in your language and in your communication. So when you work with me one on one at the kind of the first and second phases, we will look at clarifying your message. Okay. We will look at building up, first of all, your English vocabulary, building up and me listening on how you deliver. And that's normally path one. Path two then is more for managers, for executives who want to improve their executive presence in the boardroom, in the meeting, in the company. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. You could be getting overlooked for jobs because of your English. That's the fact of the matter. I mean, if you want to work internationally, if you want to move to an international company, if you want to move up in the ranks of the company, they're going to look for English. And in fact, I was talking to some clients yesterday, and they were telling me that they have worked with people who wanted to apply for general manager positions, who had all of the skills, who were really good, but their English was stopping them. So, depending on where you come in, we would either work on path one, there's two options on path one. One is to join my monthly membership program, which is just €30 at the moment. And you get pre-recorded lessons with me focused on business topics. The second path of path one is to work with me one-on-one. And that starts at €50 an hour. Path two, if I feel you're ready for it, is where we work on your executive presence. Now, this is really for managers, for senior people. And working with you on that, we start to introduce more coaching concepts, more neurolinguistic programming. And that starts at €120 an hour. And then when you're ready, you go to path three. And path three is really breaking down deeper work on you. And it's breaking down old habits, old routines, and making you become the person that you deserve to become. It's more about personal development coaching. And this is by arrangement, and it is a higher investment because it's very, very personalized, deep work that we do. And it gives you the sort of unfiltered access to me. So I want you to think about this. Is investing in yourself worth it? And let me tell you, before you even think about, well, I don't know. Yes, it is. Why? Because if you invest in yourself, if we work together, and let's say we work together for 10 weeks, depending on which package you take, if you do the work, if you do the follow through, I guarantee that you will be in a better position to be able to manage your job, to be able to manage your English, to be able to manage meetings in English. I can only do so much, but I know the frameworks that you need. I know the skills that you need. And in that way, I can help you become the better version of yourself. So listen, this video was just to reintroduce myself to you. As you can see, I am very, very casual in my approach. I will never turn up to one of our sessions in a shirt and a tie. I mean, the last time I wore a shirt, I don't know when it was. Actually, yes, it was a couple of weeks ago, and it was a really bright and brash shirt. But I'm not this corporate trainer. I do corporate work, but I'm not suited and booted. But I'm very professional. And in fact, many of my clients come away from my session saying, wow, that was not just language that you coached me on, but that was like life coaching, because I am a qualified business and life coach, communications coach, and neurolinguistic master practitioner. So you're in good hands. In the description, I've left some links for you to have a look at, and I look forward to beginning to work with you. And just one last thought to think about. Are you ready to invest in yourself? Are you ready to invest and work with somebody who can help you achieve your goals? If you are, let's talk. And just because we talk doesn't mean that we automatically work together, because I want to make sure that you are the type of person that I want to work with as well, and that I can see your commitment. So if that's you, let me know. Send me a message. Send me a direct message. Leave a comment below. You can email me, and you will find all the details in the description of this video. All right, till next time, have a wonderful day, and I'll talk very soon.